In the late 19th century, when the French scholar discovered Cham relics, they talked about collecting the objects in one place. They chose Da Nang City to build a museum in which many sculptures are being on display there so far. The Museum of Cham Sculpture were built in 1915 and were enlarged in 1935 and 2002. It was built by the architect Henry Bachmann and some of his colleagues under the sponsor of the EFCO organization in Hanoi. Its architecture reflects the Chamba temple motif. Nowadays, there are about more than 400 original sculptures, which made of sandstone and dated from the 7th century AD to the 14th century AD. More of the sculptures on display here were collected in some central province of Vietnam, which stretched from Quảng Bình province in the north to Bình Định province in the south of Vietnam. Whilst collecting the Cham relics of Chamba civilization in Bình Định province in 1885, the French had an idea of collecting and gathering the Cham sculpture in the area from Quảng Bình province to Bình Định province into one place at Da Nang City. One of the first persons who achieved a feat in moving some first Cham sculpture to the museum were the French ambassador Jacques. At first, these objects were gathered on the mount where the old pagoda, namely Long Thủ, along the Han River side. Later, it became the place where the museum were built. Da Nang City were chosen to be the museum because this region were not only convenient for the tourists but also very important for the center of politics and society in the region Amaravati of Chamba Asian Kingdom. In addition, one of the main reasons is that Da Nang City located near three famous centers such as the capital Simhapura in Chakil, the Holy Land Sri Sanahapresvara in Mission, and the institution of Buddhism Lasmindra Lokesvara in Dong Yung. The museum architect's motifs were imitated some of the Cham temple decorative motifs in order to conform in displaying the objects. All the rooms has wide doorway to get natural light. The displays was processed and supervised according to the design of the French architect and archaeologist Henry Bachmann. The museum was opened to public in 1919. As for the museum has only a row of rectangle house, which is now the big room in the middle. The number of collected objects increased after the excavation in Chakil during the year 1927, 1928, and in Thác Mẩm in Bình Định 1934. As a result, in 1935, the museum was enlarged in order to display for the newly found objects. The museum was officially inaugurated in 1936 to dedicate to Henry Bachmann for all his credits to the archaeology of Chamba relics. The museum was named after his old name, the Museum Henry Bachmann. Most of the sculptures dated from the 7th century AD to the 14th century AD on display in the museum, which are arranged in four large rooms like Mỹ Sơn, Trà Kiệu, Dong Yun, and Thác Mẩm, and some lobby with their objects found in some central provinces such as Quảng Bình, Quảng Trị, Quảng Nam, Bình Định, and Compton around the Trà Kiệu room. Most of the sculptures were made of sandstone, the others are terracotta and granite, including the variety of kinds like the architectural decorative objects, the altars, and the bas-reliefs which represent for the Hinduist gods such as the Shiva god, Vishnu god, Brahma god, and the Buddhism statues such as Bodhisattva, Buddha, the monk, and the scene of royal palace activity. In addition, there are also the statue of animals like elephant, lion, monkey, Hollywood landing, and Hollywood Garuda. This is the research art and can be represented on behalf of more of own style in Cham carving, such as the style of Mỹ Sơn Y1, Hoa Lai, Đồng Dương, Khương Mỹ, Trà Kiệu, Chánh Lộ, and Thác Mẩm. In the year 2001, the authority of Da Nang City approved the plan to build the endless display area for 3 reasons. Firstly, the number of the domestic and foreign visitors is more and more increased, whereas the old area were not enough space for the displays. Secondly, since the year 1975, the number of the found objects which added in the museum has increased. Moreover, the conservation for the sculpture could not be guaranteed due to lack of stores to preserve the objects. Thirdly, the old areas are not good for the conservation. Furthermore, there are disadvantages for displaying space, such as the lighting is very poor and the harmful climate. The architecture of the new display building also remains the same motifs of the museum. This new area was completed in June 2002.